Okay, Archie, you mentioned the Bob Hope show. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Right. They flew Bob Hope and his band and different celebrities aboard the ship. And his band slept in our sick bay, which is like a hospital area. And they had a lot of fun. They had empty bottles and what have you. They partied real tough. We had Lola Falana, and she performed on stage. The stage was set up on the deck of the carrier. They moved the planes into the hangar bay. And had Johnny Bench, the ball player, and other entertainers. And Bob Hope, he did his thing as far as jokes and what have you, you know, for our Christmas. And we had a big Christmas dinner aboard the Kennedy as well. You know, it was great fun for everybody.
The Bob Hope Show. Let's not overdo it. You saw the man pull down the card. Get your gears squared away, boy. How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Bob broadcasting from the Naval Training Station at Corpus Christi, Texas Hope. Well, here I am starting my 8th year for the same sponsor. I re-enlisted. But you know, I'm really thrilled tonight because they requested me to keep appearing before military audiences. What I didn't like about it, the request came from civilian audiences.
Today was the day that, because this is the 75th anniversary of the Allied victory of World War II, that we decided to especially call out World War II veterans for their sacrifice and their service so many years ago. But we also are thankful to all the veterans that served, no matter what time that they put the uniform on. Now we're going to have the official opening ceremony, so I'd ask everybody to please stand for the posting of the colors by American Legion Post 253 out of Royal Oak, led by Mr. Steve Perro. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Next, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mr. Kevin Carter of Boy Scout Troop 60 here in the local area. And we're also going to raise the flag to full mast.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And one more time, I'll ask you to keep standing. I'm going to introduce Mr. Isaac Murray over here, who is going to lead us in singing the national anthem. Isaac is a 13-year-old vocalist and pianist and songwriter since 2014 when he was 6 years old. He's going to lead us now in singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in act, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I think it speaks to this great community, the fact that they built this $1 million monument and it's debt-free and the community contributes. Look at all the people that were here today, probably close to 200 people. I think that speaks loudly at how they support and want to say thank you to our veterans.
So this place means a lot to us because my father was a World War II vet. He was in Battle of the Bulge. He was a military police in France during the liberation. And he passed away in 2016. And that's about the time they announced the development of this memorial. And we immediately bought a brick. So for us, it's kind of a place to come and remember my dad and Papa. And we often come here on bikes and spend time and reflect on him.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the nights with the light from above. from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, everyone, for coming today. That concludes the official ceremony.
So Archie, we talked a little bit about your dad, Grant Krupp.
Right.
And you said he's just a good old country boy.
Yeah.
Tell me more about him.
Yeah, my dad, who currently is 99 years old, he was the youngest of 14 kids in Jackson, Mississippi. Although Union Church is where he grew up in, and as I say, he was the youngest one, so he observed quite a bit. His dad was a sharecropper. He worked for a lot of people in town there, and he was a very trusted soul. Everybody seemed to appreciate him. He was a hard worker. He used to carry a hammer around in his trousers. I got one picture of my granddad, and my dad said he would always stop if he saw a nail missing. He would put it in, or if it was crooked, he'd straighten it out. He was always doing something, you know. He'd slaughter, and they were on a farm, so he'd slaughter beef and pigs for different people. He told me how during the Depression, my dad did that. They fed people. It was difficult times, but they weren't affected as badly as some others were. They had a farm, they had livestock, and they were able to help not only themselves, take care of themselves, but help other people as well. And just different stories that my dad had about growing up on a farm in Mississippi, and instead of learning how to swim in mud puddles instead of swimming pools. So, you know, he did learn how to swim and what have you. You know, it's just, and then he had sisters. I think there were 7 sisters of that 14, or 7 or 8, and all of them every day seemed like it was. They had to work the fields and what have you, and preparing dinners. It sounded like it was a big feast with so many people, just about every meal, you know. But yeah.
So it seems like his big-hearted, generous ways carried over when he decided to enlist in the service. He was still providing.
Absolutely. He was a chauffeur prior to going into the military, and the person he worked for was a Mississippi attorney, I believe, And he was able to influence, my dad felt that he was an influence in keeping him out of the military for a while there, because he liked my dad. My dad was his driver and maintained his vehicle and ran errands for him. But I understand that he had a stroke and he could no longer maintain my dad's employment. Shortly after that, my dad went into the military, so my dad felt that he had some effect or influence in keeping him out of the military at that time.
Okay. Yeah. And how old was he when he went into the military?
My dad, he was in his 20s.
Okay.
I'm not sure the exact age. He was born in 1921. So
my goodness.
He went in 43.
Okay, so about,
yeah. So.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Well, our thanks goes out to him and his service as well.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Archie.
Hi, I'm a World War II veteran and 95 years old. I was in the war in 1943, 1945. Our division landed at Omaha Beach on D-Day +1. I landed D-Day +6. I was in 4 different battles. I've got 2 Purple Hearts, Bronze Star, Combat Infantry Badge, and the first Purple Heart I had was in July the 31st of 1944. I was moving across the field, and the Germans were ahead of us. Like, we couldn't see them, but they could see me, so they had observation. In the middle of this field, they decided they're going to send in a shell, 88. I was picked for that. I was a target. That shell had my name on it. And when it came in, I could hear it coming. It whistled and it loud. And I hit the ground. As the minute I hit the ground, it hit 2 foot away from me. An 88 is like about maybe a 50, 40-pound shell. It's like that size and that long, maybe 2 foot long. When it explodes, the shrapnel goes in any direction at all. If you were standing up, it'd blow you away. So I'm laying down, so what hit me was just one piece of shrapnel. It hit my right thigh, my leg, and in my combat fatigues, I had 3 hand grenades in my pocket, but they had pins on them, so they couldn't explode because you got to pull the pin. So they glanced off that. I had a little Bible. I had letters from home, and the shrapnel had compressed some of the letters. So I got those same letters now that I came back that were compressed at the time, from my girlfriend. So that was the first time. So I ran across the field. At the other side, I laid there for maybe 5 minutes, and then Germans put 3 more shells into the same spot I was at. Had I not left that position, we were in the middle of the field, they would have got me sooner or later. So I was safe where I was at. So I got a medic, I called for a medic, he came over and he took me back to the aid station, and my pants were all shredded. They took them off, gave me another pair of pants, and they wrapped up my leg. I was hit over here in the thigh. Part of the scar there right now, yeah. But because of the way it glanced off everything, it spared my leg. It would have dug in there and really gouged me big. So they sent me back, gave me a Purple Heart. I mean, the regular Purple Heart. I had that with me. And I went back to my unit and with the guys. So 4 days later, on August the 3rd, 1944, we're moving up. We've been moving about maybe 10 miles that day, and we just crossed the valley, and there was a little river down there, and we were stopped for that. And then during the night, we stopped overnight. And as we stopped there, it was like about 8 o'clock, and the Germans were just in front of us somewhere, but I was in a field there. As I moved through the field, machine guns were hitting over, the grass was cut over my head. It was our guys were shooting. That was me. I didn't know it was there. It was friendly fire, but I was in front of them. So I got out of there. So anyway, I get back to my position, and I was assigned to be guard duty on the outside. They were 8 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock, it was nice and quiet, no noise, no Germans, no nothing. I figured this is a good place to be. Except some German had seen me standing there. And he had a rifle, and I don't think he had a telescopic sight on it, but he fired at me. I know 2 shots, but one went over my head, heard it pop. It goes by and pop, it was a pop, pop. And the next one hit me in the foot. And it hit in a strange way. It went through the front of my, came up to the middle of my foot, and it just so hurt so badly. I was able to get up and crawl back over this hedgerow to the guy and said, I'm hit. So they took me back to the aid station, and they just temporarily wrapped me up. Next morning, I was shipped out to England on a C-47. My very first airplane ride was a C-47 at a stretcher. And it's only maybe 20-minute, half an hour ride across the channel. I wind up in a American Field Hospital in Birmingham, England. And here we're in a cot, sheets. It's like I went to heaven. I said, sheets, pillowcase. I mean, this is beautiful. I hadn't taken a bath maybe in about 2 months. I hadn't shaved. I was mean looking, dirty. That's how soldiers are. They look good in the picture, but in combat they're raggedy. They're tired and they're mean and they're just, and whoever gets in front of them, they want to wipe them out. So I'm there at the hospital and they operate on and they put me in a cast. I was there for almost 4 months in Birmingham, England. And while I was there, I was able to, after a while, get out, and we went to town and met some of the girls that were there, and I met some friends that I got friendly with in there and with their families, And then all of a sudden, it's in November, December 1944. The war's still going on over in France, and they ship us back. So I figured I was hit twice already, so going back a third time, I wasn't very happy about that. But anyway, I would have went. But instead of sending me back to the unit, they sent me to a replacement, or rather a medical depot. It was a 66 medical depot in Liège, Belgium, which was the largest supply depot the Army had. And the Germans, when they started the Battle of the Bulge, that was their target. They wanted to get that town where I was at. But our division had been there, hit them head on, and they stopped them. And after the war, one of the Germans says, our units ran into a stone wall, and that stone wall was the 2nd Division. A German general said that, quote. So our guys were good. I mean, they were soldiers. They were, I was with the best. And I survived only because I was lucky. I mean, if you're not lucky, you're not coming back.
Right.
If you come back home, either you're killed or wounded, or you're captured. So war is not a very nice thing. It's terrible, and it's deadly. And my memories are still there. Even to this day, at night I'll wake up sometimes thinking about it. I think about my friend Moose. It's still, it doesn't go away. It doesn't just disappear. It's still there.
So how did you meet Moose?
We were in the same squad together, and they said, well, your assignment now is going to be with him. And what I had is I had a bill here. They have a magazine with 20 rounds in it. I was carrying about maybe 3 magazines for it. I was the ammunition carrier for him to give him the supply. He was the gunner. It's a large automatic rifle that you pull the trigger, it fires 20 rounds automatically. Okay, and he was that guy. So when he was killed, I took over his gun. I became the BR man. But when I was there with him, I thought he was my mentor. He's the guy that will watch over me. And all of a sudden, he's killed, and I'm carrying him back. There were 4 of us. I had one arm, and I had the other arm, and the 4 of us carried him back to the rear. So after the war was over, I kept thinking, well, I knew a guy named Moose, but I didn't know his name. I wanted to call the family because I was there when he died, and no one else knew except me. Nobody. And 45 years later, I find out his name is Moose. It was Turner Terrell. He's from Graham, Texas, a little town that's about 80 miles north of Fort Worth. And I met his family, his brothers and sisters, his niece, and we communicated. I lost touch with them now anymore, but they got the same picture here too that I had. I had a plant made out of that with his name on the bottom.
Oh,
And I think
nice.
so they had one of those. So anyway, the memory's still there. Every night I say a prayer for him. Here's a guy who's laying in my life for 4 weeks, and yet he's there every day. To this day, I still think about him. You know, just like I have a family. And so anyway, that was the war. So the war ended in Liège. And when I was there, I was safe because the Germans were about 25 miles ahead of us. But we were exposed to what they call a buzz bomb. And a buzz bomb was a flying bomb, you might say. It had an engine on it, and it would go put, 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 and all of a sudden they would stop, and they would come down, and it had a 2,000-pound load on it. When it came down anywhere. So that was always nerve-wracking. But as far as the war went on, I was happy there. I came back home, you know. It's made by a guy named Gary Gracie. He hand-carved this eagle.
Wow.
And the back of it is tells you all about if you can read.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Very nice.
It's one of a kind.
Wow.
And there's only maybe about a couple hundred of these made here. That it's really nice. I use it all the time.
Good. It's got your name right there on it.
My name's in on it, and also the division, the Purple Heart.
Oh, very nice. That's very good.
This is a one of a kind.
Yeah.
If you
So
get too-
are you, Ray.
If you get too tough, this guy will bite you.
All right.
Good morning. I'm happy to meet you today. Can you tell us your name and a little bit about you?
Joe Kretzmer.
Okay. All right, Joe, and I understand you served in the Navy.
Yes,
What year did you serve in the Navy?
1945.
And how long were you in the Navy?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Can you tell us where you were stationed and some of the things that you did?
Well, first of all, I went to Great Lakes Naval Training Center. They gave us their shots, 9 shots, all kinds of shots. And every day we went to the fire range and learned how to shoot. And I was a very good on the 20s, very good. And I was there for 2 weeks, and they showed us Japanese airplanes, how to identify them, and they shipped us out.
Okay. How old were you when this happened?
18.
18. Where did they ship you to?
They shipped us to California.
Okay.
I forgot the name of Brown's something. And we were there for a little bit, and then they assigned us to Mare Island to pick up a ship. There was battleships, and there was cruisers, and all kinds of big ships. And there's one little tiny ship in here. One little tiny ship. The guy says, "Halt." I says, "You gotta be kidding." He says, "No, that's your ship." It was an LST, which was a landing, it was a ship that had a big front and a ramp where they could put tanks and whatnot. It was a great ship. There was only 17 of us on that ship, and I never saw the officers, but I understand the highest rank officer was a Lieutenant J.G., and that was it. And we were going. I went to Mare Island. I went underneath the bridge into the Pacific Ocean. And this little ship was only 7 knots an hour. It took us 2 weeks to get to Hawaii. 2 weeks. And the flying fishes were coming out. I love that little ship. I love that little, and you know, they had the bow, and then they had the ramp. And between the ramp and the bow, a little seawater would come in and form a pool. So we went swimming in the middle of the ocean. We went swimming. And we were at a war at that time with the Japanese. But we didn't even think about it. We didn't even think about it. And we got to Hawaii, and I remember going down in Waikiki Beach, helping the fishermen. And then I went down in the sugar canes. I was helping with them, cutting sugar canes. Then they gave us leave for a week. So I'm in the week, I'm in Hawaii, and I go into this bar. I want a beer. Guy says, can't give you a beer. Can't give you nothing. I says, why not? He says, because I'll lose my license. You're not 21 years old.
Oh my
I says, I'm old enough to die for you, but I can't get a drink. You know, that's what I told him. He said, I'm sorry. He said, I can't do nothing for you. Anyways, we shipped out from there, from Hawaii, and we got on this, we were gonna go on this we got on this troop ship. And we were gonna go invade Japan. And here I am in the middle of the ocean, getting ready to fight. Oh boy, I can't wait. Gung-ho. And they dropped the bomb. And the war was over.
the more I want you. Somehow this feeling just grows and grows. With every sigh I become more mad about you, more lost without you, and so it goes. Can you imagine how much I'll love you the more I see you as years go by? I know the only one for me can only be you. My arms won't free you, my heart won't try. Can you imagine how much I love you? The more I see you as years go by, I know the only one for me can only be